We're about halfway through the NHL season, and it's no surprise, especially after the World Juniors, where Connor Bedard took over as an absolute unit for Team Canada, putting up, I believe, 25 points. He was just on another level, setting records as a 17-year-old, leading the team in scoring, leading the whole tournament in scoring. Connor Bedard is definitely going to go #1 overall in the upcoming NHL draft. So I just made the update that NHL released the other day. Connor Bedard up to an 81 overall. I changed his potential to high franchise instead of medium franchise just for a little bit of fun. 17 years old, and for some reason, EA decided not to give Connor Bedard any superstar X factors, so I went and added a couple. I thought Schneip would be good. Close quarters, scores in tight a lot. We got elite edges, make it snappy, puck on a string, and of course, shock and awe with the shot he has. The Austin Matthews-like release, which is pretty incredible. But 5'10", 185 pounds, he's just gonna keep getting better and bigger. Honestly, he is an absolute stud. But here are his stats. So puck skills, I didn't change anything but the shooting. I turned shooting up a little bit. I think they were all 87s. I turned them up to 91s for the fun of it. But he does have a 91 overall shot. It is ridiculous. But puck skill, 3.5 stars. Senses, 4 stars. Shooting, 5 stars. Physical, 1.5 stars. Skating, 3.5 stars, and defense 3 stars. Obviously, he's not a 99 overall, 5-star everything yet. But you remember, the kid is 19 years old. 17 years old. Makes me feel like I'm a grandpa, but he's going to be an absolute stud. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to pretend like the NHL ended right now. We're going to do a draft lottery, and we're going to see who would get Connor Bedard if the season ended today. And then we're going to simulate probably 3 to 5 years with Connor Bedard on that team and see what happens. So I'm going to bring us over to the draft lottery and see who gets Connor Bedard. So we're going to be using the Tankathon website to determine who is going to win the NHL 2023 draft lottery. If you haven't seen this website, clearly your team is good and you never run this simulation. I've been running this thing for the last 5-10 years as an Ottawa Senators fan. So the teams that have a chance, we got Columbus, who is now last place with 26 points, 12 wins, 27 losses, 2 overtime losses. Chicago, Anaheim, Arizona, San Jose, Montreal, Vancouver, Philadelphia, Florida, but it's actually Montreal's draft pick, the Ottawa Senators, St. Louis, Buffalo, and then so forth. I think the last 3 are unable to get him. Maybe it's the last 4 or 5, but we're going to sim the lottery here. What do we think? He's number 16 for Canada, but I'm not going to click this 16 times. We will do it 3 times. 1, 2, and this is the one here. Connor Bedard is going to the Ottawa Senators. Welcome, Connor Bedard. I mean, I'll take this in real life too. So Connor Bedard will be joining the Ottawa Senators, and we'll see if we can win a Stanley Cup with Connor Bedard on the Ottawa Senators. All right, with the first overall selection, the Ottawa Senators select the beautiful stud Connor Bedard. Welcome to the Ottawa Senators, kid. High franchise potential. Sniper, 81 overall. Let's go. Year #1 in the books, and the Ottawa Senators make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I'm not going to lie, we were up 3-0 over Pittsburgh, and we lost 4 straight games. We could have been Stanley Cup champions in the first season with Connor Bedard, but unable to make it happen. We went 46, 30, and 6, and Connor Bedard finishes his rookie campaign with 64 points in 82 games, 27 goals, 37 assists, only 12 power play points, so hopefully get him more involved in the power play. Face-off percentage definitely went down to 45%. Takeaways, 52, giveaways, 50, so a plus player there. But for rookie season, pretty good. Better than Tim Stützle did, because no superstar X factors really screw you over in this game. Sanderson only scored 2 goals after the first game in the regular season. Shabbat there. But let's take a look and see if he did win the Calder Trophy here. Awards, nothing there for us. Individual Calder Trophy, where are you? Calder Trophy goes to Shane Wright. So he doesn't play last year, plays this year, and wins the Calder Trophy. But that's all right. I will do the off season, and we will look at the Ottawa Senators in year 2. Actually, before we do, let's take a look and see how much Connor Bedard grew this year. He is up to an 87 overall now. So we'll see what he looks like in the beginning of next year. But he did lose an X Factor, which is interesting, and a Superstar X Factor. Am I crazy? Yeah, he doesn't have his... Okay, interesting. So he lost his gold X Factor, which is interesting there. For the second straight year, the Ottawa Senators make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. But once again, we fall to the Pittsburgh Penguins, who would go on to win their second straight Stanley Cup. And the surprise is Arizona all the way to the Stanley Cup with their 5,000 fans. Leading the team once again for the second season was Alexander DeBrincat. But Connor Bedard, look at that first season of over a point per game at 87 points in 82 games, 50 assists. Doesn't score as much as I thought he would. A couple more power play points this year. Face-off percentage a little bit better. A lot more takeaways, up to a 93 overall now. So definitely becoming quite the superstar. And I know this team will have some cap problems, so we'll definitely have to address that a little bit. But leading the entire NHL in scoring, let's take a look here, was Austin Matthews, Nathan McKinnon, and Nazem the Dream Kadri. So nothing too crazy there for us. But once again, I will complete the offseason, and I will see you in year number 3, which may or may not be our last year, depending on how it goes. If we win the Stanley Cup, it will definitely be our last year. But let's simulate, and I will catch you in year 3, where I predict Connor Bedard. All of us phenoms in the NHL are named Connor, apparently. Connor Bedard will probably be a 94 overall if I predict correctly. In the third and final year in the Connor Bedard simulation here, he is now a 93 overall, playing with Tkachuk and DeBrincat still. Maybe I should put Stutz on that line, but they lose the morale, so I won't change any of that. Second line, Stu, then Batherson, Giroux, Ridley Gregg, Josh Norris, Mathieu Joseph, Alex Renton, Shane Pinto, and Tyler Boucher. Defensemen, Shabbat Sanderson, Bernard Docker, Brandstrom, Lassie Thompson, and Artem Zub. If you're a Sens fan, you get that. But let's go. Come on. This is the year. Let's beat the Pittsburgh Penguins for once. Please and thank you. I would appreciate that. But game number 1 is against the Buffalo Sabres in O-Town, the Ottawa Senators, Canadian Tire Center. First period, 1-0, Max Domi. Second period, 0-0. Third period, well, that is just not the best start to the year. We get shut out 2-0. But let's keep this. Actually, I want to simulate the next one too. Edmonton would be a fun one. The Connor showdown of phenoms. Got Bedard versus McDavid in Ottawa, coming off the first game of the regular season where we were unable to score a goal. But that's okay. First period, there we go. Brandstrom, Batherson, Joseph, and Pinto all get goals. They got one from Dylan Holloway. Second period, add 2 more. Connor Bedard and then Connor McDavid. Back-to-back, the Connor phenoms show up. And then Brady Tkachuk gets one past Marc-Andre Fleury. But we put up 6, make that 7 as Joseph scores his second of the game. 7 goals on 25 shots. Not looking too pretty here for the Edmonton Oilers. Kind of an issue they've had their whole, at least Connor McDavid era, with bad goaltending. Thomas Chabot scores another one on Marc-Andre Fleury. And the Ottawa Senators take this one 8-2. And let's look at the stats there. So Joseph leads the way with 3 points, and then a plethora of players at 2 points, where we have Connor Bedard, 1 goal, 1 assist. So not too bad, not too shabby there. But I'm going to simulate this last year, and we'll see if Connor Bedard has what it takes to lead the Ottawa Senators to the promised land. In the final season, the Ottawa Senators once again do make the Stanley Cup playoffs, but for the first time, we do not make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We fall in round number 1 to the Washington Capitals, where we were up 3-1 in the series and fall 4-3. That's the second time we have a major comeback on us in 3 years. But Connor Bedard hits the 100-point, the century mark for the first time in his career. 43 goals, 57 helpers, plus 30 power play points, so really dominate this year. Played some short-handed minutes as well. 113 takeaways. The team was absolutely godlike here. I think if they had a better winger outside of Braychuk, I guess he was over a point per game too. Batson, Sanderson, Stutzla. If Stutzla was maybe a superstar X Factor, this would be a little bit more fun. But that is going to do it. Connor Bedard unable to lead the Ottawa Senators to a Stanley Cup, but I'm sure if I kept the simulation going, eventually they would get one with him at 94 overall. So in the 3 years in the NHL, he put up 251 points in 246 games, 100 goals. I think in real life he'll be more of a goal scorer than this. I don't think he'll be scoring less than half a goal per game, especially in the beginning. But you never know. There's always so much that goes into being in the NHL. How many shots? 286, 285, 271. So he did shoot a lot. But who do you think is going to win the draft lottery and get the Canadian phenom Connor McDavid? I'm hoping it's the Ottawa Senators. If we miss the playoffs, I'm hoping. But as long as it's not Arizona, we cannot have this kid burn his life away in Arizona. But thank you so much for watching. As always, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you very much. Go, Sens. Go, Connor Bedard. Please come home to the Ottawa Senators. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and see ya.